In the equation above, a and b are constants. If the equation is true for all values of x, what is the value of a plus b? So in this case, we're looking for a plus b, and I'm going to start by distributing the left side of this expression here. And I can do that by essentially doing a type of FOIL. In this case, it wouldn't be FOIL because the FOIL is just for a binomial times another binomial. In this case, we have a trinomial times the binomial. So we will do essentially FOIL, but we will multiply each term by each of the other terms. So let's go ahead and get that started here. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply this x squared times this 2x. That's going to be 2x cubed. 2x cubed. Then that x squared is going to be multiplied by this negative 4. So it'll be minus 4x squared. And we'll continue that same process. Then ax times 2x. So it'll be plus 2ax squared. Then that ax times the negative 4. So that makes it minus 4ax. Then the same thing here. 6 times 2x. That gives us 12x plus 12x. And notice how I'm maintaining my signs as I do this. This is one of the most important things you can do on the exam, is to make sure that you follow a very specific discipline in doing these problems. A lot of times these problems are created such that if you do this in a rush, you're going to miss your negative signs. And then the final step here will be 6 times negative 4, which is going to be minus 24. And that distributes the left side of the equation, and that's going to be set equal to this right side of the equation here, which is going to be bx cubed plus 4x squared minus 4x minus 24. And so we can see here that there are similarities here. One of the ways you could set these equations equal to each other is by saying, okay, I'm going to set the coefficients of the appropriate degrees equal to each other. So this 2x cubed right here is going to be equal to this bx cubed. So we can start with that. So 2x cubed must equal this bx cubed. All right, and then the next thing we can do is say all of our squared terms will be equal to all of the coefficient of our squared terms will be equal to the coefficient of our squared terms here. So in this case, you have minus 4x squared plus 2ax squared, and that's going to be set equal to this right over here. So we'll do that on in the second side over here. So minus 4x squared plus 2ax squared is going to be set equal to 4x squared. So 4x squared, and then we'll do the exact same thing here. Minus 4ax plus 12x is going to be set equal to this minus 4x. So minus 4ax plus 12x is going to be equal to negative 4x. And this is how we're going to do this. And of course, the negative 24 equals negative 24. So this expression is set up in this manner for a specific reason. So let's start with this. Let's see if we can figure out what b is. This is going to be a very simple solve here. So we'll divide both sides by x cubed. So the x cubes will cancel on both sides. And we'll get our answer as 2 equals b, or b equals 2. Okay, so we have half of our equation here, because remember, it's asking us for what is a plus b. And then we can just go about strategically figuring out what a is. And I'm going to do both, but in reality, you'll only need to do one in a case like this. But I will show you both just to be thorough here. So in this expression right over here, my first step is going to be to factor out this x squared and this x squared here. So I'll factor out that x squared, and inside I'll be left with minus 4 plus 2a. And that's going to be equal to 4x squared. I'll divide both sides by x squared, so the x squareds will cancel on both sides because they're multiplied on both sides. And that leaves me with, and I'm going to rearrange this a little bit here, so just to make it easier for myself. So it'll be 2a minus 4 is equal to 4. And the next step is just to add 4 to both sides, plus 4, and that gives me 2a is equal to 8. So because these 4's will cancel, and that after dividing both sides by 2, I will get a is equal to 4. So I got a equal to 4 here. So at this point, I actually have enough information to solve my problem and to determine what a plus b is. But just to be on the safe side, let's see what the value of a is based on this side right over here. So again, my first step here is going to be to factor out the x. So this x right here will be factored out. So x gets factored out, and I'll be left inside with minus 4a plus 12, and that's going to be equal to minus 4x. And again, the same thing will happen here. The x will cancel on both sides, and I'll be left with, after rearranging this bit here, 12 minus 4a is equal to negative 4. And I'll subtract 12 from both sides, subtract 12, and that gives me a total of negative 4a over here equals negative 4 plus negative 12 is equal to negative 16. Divide both sides by negative 4, and that gives me a is equal to 4. So you see we got the same answer in this case. They will always set it up like this, so you only really have to do one. But we know that a equals 4 and b equals 2, so our value for a plus b is going to be equal to 4 plus 2, which is equal to 6. So our correct answer in this case is B for Batman.